Hey, what's up, Lock 22 Nation? Sports fans of all kinds, fans of the, perennial football glory of teams that are probably eliminated. Not looking at the sheet, I don't know how many fans of the teams that remain in the NFL playoff, but we are here to discuss it, rub some stink on it. I'm Gobo Moran. With me, as always, my bestie, my boo, James Marvs.
What's up?
What up, homie? All right, so we will start as we always do. Touchdown Jesus squares off against the city with maybe one of the lowest economic matrices in the Midwest, Columbus, Ohio. Ohio State, Notre Dame, national championship, first ever culmination to a college football playoff in the history of mankind. And we have our first champion, the Buckeyes of Ohio State.
How do you feel about it?
I I think they were the best team. Um, this is probably the first time. I mean, definitely not the first time, like not the first time ever, because I think that there's been some national champions like in the history of college football that are like, yeah, they're definitely better than every other team. Those old Miami teams, those old Nebraska teams, those just like super dominant. But this is probably the first time I can say confidently, without a shadow of a doubt, the best team stands atop the college football rankings.
Let me ask you this, okay? Because
Sure.
we know that we arrived at this playoff because of a flawed system. So, saying what you just said, how did they end up an eight seed?
I mean, there's a lot of teams. There's a lot of conferences. Ohio State is in the same division as Oregon, who went undefeated, and then ended up having to play them in the playoff and beat their ass. So I think that it's football seasons are long. They're taxing. You deal with injuries, you deal with fatigue, you deal with locker room issues, you deal with these kids that are under potentially academic pressure, maybe some schools more than others. Um, it's a lot of pressure to go through day in and day out. And when you look at the champions in the NFL, you look at some teams that have won the Super Bowl that had not the best regular seasons, that lost very winnable games, that lost to, mid-tier, lower-tier opponents, still came back, rode their momentum, won the big games when it counted, performed under pressure, and those teams earned their Super Bowl rings. I can never really say that, like, looking back at any Super Bowl champion, that they didn't actually deserve to win it.
Yeah. I just find it fascinating and a testament to a job well done with the new system in place that the first ever is an eight seed. I love it. I love it.
It's wild. It's wild. And then it's like, and now, I mean, because of we got the transfer portal, because we got the NIL sponsorships, like, I think we're going to see a huge shift to the way that the business of college football is ran. And I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it.
Yeah.
So,
I think one thing that and maybe it'll get better over time. I just I miss the days of you say, which hat am I? Oh, he's going to LSU, and then he's in LSU for 4 years.
right. Like
Like
that's the choice.
it's almost gonna be gone. I mean, you know, so that I could, but definitely feel like they should get paid for their name, image, and likeness. I'm all for that 100% as much as they can get because this is the it for some of these guys, you
Oh,
know.
absolutely.
So they should obviously be paid, and it makes scholarship stories like Brandon Burlsworth, a little less significant, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's getting the right direction. So
Yeah.
just leave it there.
I mean, I like it. I think that, like, at the end of the day, if college football was about academia and sports and as a pot like I look at it like high school football. I know that there's like these like super huge high school football programs, but the goal of most high school football programs is to win, but it's to to positively impact the character of the kids playing, um, to develop like skills of teamwork and sportsmanship and things like that. And it's a school activity more than it is a an entertainment byproduct. Now, college football started that way. Absolutely is not that anymore. It is an entertainment byproduct. You can go and buy an Ohio State shirt at any Walmart in the country. Like you you are selling a product just the same as the NFL is.
Yep.
And so it used to be good enough that it's like, oh, well, not only are these kids playing on the team, our students at our school, but they get to go here for free. Like we're incentivizing them to pick our college by giving it to them for free because winning's that important to us. And now it's even to the point it's like, well, if you win, you're making X amount of dollars. These kids get nothing, and they're the ones risking their bodies. So it's like the thing of the matter is college football isn't really college football anymore. It's semi-professional. It is the stepping stone to the NFL. And
Good point.
unfortunately, that's the way it is. I mean, Division Two, Division Three is a little bit more like traditional college football. Division One, the SEC, the Big Ten, those are semi-professional teams.
Yeah.
So, but I love the playoff. Entertaining as hell, man. It was fun. It was a fun because you didn't know what was going to happen. We had some big upsets. We had some shockers. We had some close games. We had some excitement. The championship was a bit of a blowout, but
But and it didn't feel too long either, or
no.
drawn out, which was like what a lot of people were thinking.
Yeah, yeah, no, it wasn't overly commercialized. They put those two teams on the field. They let them play a game. We had our champion. So I enjoyed it. Ohio State, great program, man. Like they looked really good. Their defense was really tight. They got some big playmakers. So I'm interested to see how next year goes because in the draft, the transfer portal, it's gonna fuck all these teams' rosters up. So we might have eight of the 12 spots might be different teams next year.
It's true.
So I'm here for it. All right, let's talk about the pros. We had a couple games last week. Got some upsets. Had some
Oh,
decided.
we gonna do the coaching carousel?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I'm getting there. I'm
Oh,
getting there. I'm just
okay.
I'm just
All right.
rambling my way to it.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah. Recap first. My
I
bad.
was like, yeah, yeah. So,
I'm
yeah,
done.
we had a couple of upsets. The Detroit Lions season ends early, with their loss to Washington. Um, I mean, I
Game
was
I got.
shocked.
It's the only
I,
game I got this week.
I was absolutely shocked, man. Like,
You were 3-1.
I'll take it. I will take that. Um, so the Washington Commanders and their rookie head to the NFC Championship to take on the perennial juggernaut Eagles. That's going to be a fun game. It's a division game. Um, but because of that, the Lions coaching staff is now sold to the highest bidder. And we're going to talk about the coaching carousel and the OC and DC in Detroit are now with other teams. So let's go down the list. We talked about the five guys who got fired this last year from head coaching jobs. None of them have secured a head coaching job, and only one of them has picked up a coordinator job. So I think that that's interesting. But we'll start the Jets. Um, Lions DC Aaron Glenn is their new head coach. Um, I'm trying to think. I don't think he has any head coaching experience in the NFL.
Nope.
I mean, obviously the Lions defense is pretty stout. Um, I don't know. How do you feel about this hire? DC's don't typically make the best head coaches.
Dude, Woody Johnson's a moron. That's all I can tell you.
I mean,
Oh,
the Jets aren't as bad as they are because of one guy. Or I mean, because of one hire or one draft pick or one bad trade or one bad signing. Like it starts at the top down. And it seems like a very safe move at the same time a very wrong move.
feels like another Jared Mayo scenario.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like you're picking up this guy. He's obviously got a good head for the game. He commands a presence in a room, but you're bringing him in with you don't know who your quarterback is next year. You don't know where any of your free agents are going to land up. You don't know what the fuck to do with your draft. Luckily, their salary cap isn't too messed up. So if they had a capable GM, I mean, they could put a run together. But with this guy, I mean, it's like all the offensive problems they've had in New York. I think a defensive minded guy. I don't like. I don't love this hire either. All right. So moving on to so the Bears didn't hire Mike McCarthy, which shocking because it would have been a very Bears thing to do with how, untested and unimpressive he's been the last decade. They pick up Ben Johnson, the Lions offensive coordinator.
You know what? That's the Bears making a smart decision for once.
I mean, I'd like to think so. I mean, I don't want to think so because I hate the Bears, but like at the same time, was there ever anything particularly impressive about the Lions offense if you take away the talent of the players?
Yeah, they could keep up with the scoring that their defense gave up
I mean,
most of the season. They,
okay, that's
I
valid.
mean, I think they led the league in points.
Yeah, they were up there. It was either them or Buffalo.
Yeah. So,
Um,
I mean, that's impressive with Jared Goff at quarterback.
yeah, let's see here. I'm looking at the so it's funny. I'm reading an article. I'm looking at an article right now. It says that the Bears team president was talking about how Johnson he's a power hungry guy. He likes to have a lot of creative control with the general manager. So I think that'll be interesting to see. Is he going to be satisfied there with the personnel picks that the Bears end up seeing? We'll see. We'll see how the draft goes. Um, I think that the draft is going to be very telling to see what exactly the Bears are going to do next season. Caleb cannot do it alone. He's very talented. He's got some talented receivers. They need a running back and they need an offensive line, or none of this shit's going to work.
And double focus on the offensive line because a good offensive line can make a running back that's average be
Yeah,
a little bit better than average. But here's the thing. This guy needs to be able, Ben Johnson needs to be able to get Rome Odunze into the picture because he really was. You saw the impact that Marvin Harrison Jr. had on a really
Mm,
bad Cardinal. They beat some teams that they shouldn't have beat.
they did. They did. No,
Uh,
very, very talented guys. No, I'm a big fan of Roma Dunze.
he's right there.
Yeah, no, I think that an OC with a better play calling package, which I think that this is definitely an upgrade. I mean, this there's no way this isn't an upgrade over what they were working with before. Um, so yeah, this I think this maybe I mean at the very minimum gets the Bears one, two, three, maybe four more wins that gets them in the playoff conversation. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't.
Dude, they are in the playoff conversation in his first year. It's a success.
Absolutely. If they're in the playoff conversation before he's fired, it's a success compared to the previous coaches. So
Here's the thing. They gotta, I mean, he should have been like, don't give me this job if you're gonna just fire me after a year. I need 2 years and I'll turn this program. That's not unrealistic, dude. That's not.
right. What I see potentially is depending on the contract they give him. We'll see what that contract ends up looking like. But let's say Ben Johnson goes to the GM for the draft. He's like, I want this guy. I want this guy. I think you should trade this pick away. I think you should trade this guy away. Like, these are the moves I think you should make to make this team feasible. And they don't do it. And then the Bears have a shit season next year. Ben Johnson, does he stay with the Bears or does he like call up call up Detroit and it's like, hey, let me get my job back, man. This sucks. Like,
Well, I mean, gosh, that would be a new precedent, honestly. Somebody's saying, you know what, it's not for me. They
Yeah,
don't.
just like I don't want to be in charge. Yeah, who
Yeah, maybe
fucking
going to another team as a head coach, but like as a lateral move, but going back.
yeah, but like you can't. It's hard to get fired from a head coaching job and then get another one
Yeah, that, I
like
mean,
immediately. Like there's guys who have gotten fired, worked their way back up, and then got like Harbaugh's a good example. Um, he got fired, went to college, won the Natty, and then now has another head coaching job. Um, Tampa or not Tampa, Jacksonville, keeping it in Florida. They pick up Liam Cohen, who's the Bucks OC, and I like this call. I mean the Jaguars need a lot of personnel to remain competitive, but in that division, they can worm their way into the playoffs with a potent offense,
yeah,
which they have some of the guys. And fuck, man, Tampa has looked so good offensively the last couple of seasons.
yeah.
So I like that hire a lot. The Patriots. Okay, so I like Mike Vrabel. I liked him as a player. I think that he definitely has a good football mindset. How is this not the Patriots just hiring Jared Mayo again?
I mean,
It feels like the same fucking guy.
I told you about the promise for Mayo that nobody knew about until this year. But you're taking another Ring of Honor guy, but the difference here, the holy difference here, is that he has head coaching experience and it wasn't a complete failure. He has proven that he can take a locker room and get them behind him. I think that that was Jared Mayo's problem.
Yeah,
In his promised chance, he didn't he didn't get anybody to take the next step. And I think that Vrabel has shown that he can do that. And I don't I don't dude, I'm not a fan. I'm not really a fan of Ring of Honor guys coming in. But if you told me tomorrow that Marshawn Lynch was going to be coaching the Seahawks, I I would be ecstatic.
coach, what's the call, man?
So,
Shut up,
yeah,
you motherfucker! Run the ball.
this is called Hold My
Like,
Dick.
yeah, like I mean, I would watch every Seahawks game
I
if
mean,
that was the case. I don't know. I wouldn't expect you
you'd have
guys to
to.
win many, but
No, no, and no one would
but
care.
I would be watching.
No
I
one
would
would
be
care.
watching. Oh my God, he just like fucking puts on a helmet, like in a tracksuit and a helmet, just runs in the game.
They're like,
Give me the
Marshawn,
goddamn ball.
you only get three timeouts per half. What? What? He'd just be
No,
calling timeouts. I can't. It would be amazing. He'd be amazing.
I love no Marshawn Lynch. He needs to open a chain of hot wing restaurants and start a game show and fucking do a stand up comedy tour. I would be fucking on board with any of that. I love
My
Marshawn Lynch.
God, a stand-up comedy tour.
Yeah, just Marshawn Lynch just go up there. He's like, one time Russell Wilson farted on the bus and I beat his ass for 7 hours. And like I would die on the floor. I would be die of happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I I love it. Yeah. I stole Pete Carroll's toupee and I ate it. Like anyway, speaking of Pete Carroll, he's got a new job. Um Viva Las Vegas, I guess.
Look,
Speaking of coaches getting fired and then getting a job after doing nothing. Um
you want to talk about potential possibilities here? We already know Pete Carroll is ready to roll with whatever's at quarterback. So don't expect any changes there. He's going to roll
like
with whatever.
who is the Raiders quarterback?
Aiden O'Connell, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, he'll roll with whatever. He doesn't give a shit about that. But what I do, let's just get to speculation on it. Russell Wilson's up in Pittsburgh. He may be going to Vegas, and Sierra may be taking up a residency at the Sphere for the summer. Uh,
Another show I wouldn't mind going to.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways. When you have a young quarterback like Aiden O'Connell, who's not terrible, but he just hasn't found his way into the pantheon of NFL greats, which Russell Wilson once was. It may suffice for a year. Um,
I mean, this I you
gonna be some,
you know my opinion about the Raiders, bro.
he's
Like
gonna
if
be some, well, I share that opinion.
I mean there I think definitively whatever the draft status is, I think the Raiders are probably the worst team in the league. Talent wise
Yeah.
and coaching wise. I don't know if this makes them better.
Well,
That's the crazy thing to me is like I don't know, it doesn't make them worse, but it's like
I
Pete
will,
Carroll. I'll let you
I'll
interject. I
tell
want
you
to
this.
what you have to say. Yeah.
We were really bad when he came to Seattle, and he took us to the playoffs in 1 year. And he did that by coming in with John Schneider, and they made 250 moves, roster moves in their first year. And he started to churn through. Once he gets a look at these players, like I'm sure he's already have been evaluating
Oh,
who,
I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, you got to go into that interview with a
yeah.
plan.
And
Like, yeah,
once
it's,
he
he had that
has
before.
figured out who he wants, I mean, there's some good, like he's like, I got Max Crosby on my defense. That's as good as any defensive lineman I've ever had on any of my,
True.
including like with a team,
Absolutely true.
best team
Mhm.
in defense for 5 years. He's better than any of those guys were. I mean, individually. So that's a good starting place. He's got an awesome tight end.
Yep.
Uh, I mean, there are things to work with, and those are two big ones that Pete Carroll like dines on those things. So now he's got to figure out where his draft capital is and how he can sneak in those top corners in league in the fifth and sixth rounds, like he did with Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I'm excited to watch the Raiders next year. It'll be fun to see him on the sidelines and to
I mean,
see
I could imagine. Yeah.
see what he does.
I mean, yeah. Like if Mike Holmgren got like a coaching job somewhere, like I would be excited to see how he did. I wouldn't want him coaching the Packers again.
No, 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 no.
Um,
Same.
but yeah, I'd love to see for old time's sake. I'd love to see him again. You know, just like a it's like seeing somebody who got fired from your job at a bar. It's just like, how you been?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I I would love to see what the Raiders look like next year because yeah, they're just dog shit right now. And
Well, and it's a good rivalry with old Harbaugh.
oh my God, yeah, no, I texted you earlier. The AFC West is like all four head coaches are could be Hall of Fame coaches. All four of them have won Super Bowls. Oh no, Harbaugh never won a Super Bowl. He lost.
No,
Yeah. But yeah, Sean Payton, Andy Reid, Pete Carroll, and Jim Harbaugh are all coaching in the same division. That's bananas.
crazy.
I know, I love it. It's just all the old guys. Um so yeah, we'll see how the Raiders do. And then a couple of coordinator jobs. One that I thought was really interesting. Robert Saleh, not waiting in the unemployment line. With Tracy Chapman for too long. He is now the defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. I, you know, it couldn't be much worse. It couldn't be much worse than the 49ers defense last year. So I don't know, maybe Robert Saleh, he strikes me as a guy who absolutely should not be making decisions around a team, but maybe he knows defenses well enough.
Yeah, I'd venture that to say that's true.
Yeah. I think it's a tall order trying to be the head coach of the Jets. So I'll be the devil's advocate. I'm interested to see how they look. The 49ers, I don't know. It's hard to not say that they're just a quarterback away from being great again. But I don't know. Their players are aging, so I mean maybe their window is closed. Um, and then yeah, Patriots hire Josh McDaniel again. And then the rest of these guys I don't even recognize their names. Not even worth talking about. Moving on. Josh McDaniels is a good OC, terrible head coach. We'll see how he does with Mr. V up in Foxborough. All right. AFC Championship, NFC Championship, 4 teams remain, 3 football games.
We didn't say anything about the other three games from last week.
Oh, sure, we can do that.
I mean, I just want to mention them real quick.
Sure. I mean, I'm wearing the rags of the downed LA Rams. I mean, did anybody realistically think they had a shot in this game?
I mean, after the whooping they put on Minnesota, yeah, I mean, I thought they had a chance.
Yeah.
But I only picked them because I had
Yeah. I mean,
to
that's
go
how it
against
works.
I had to go against you.
That's
But
right.
the Houston game was underwhelming. Kansas City, dude,
Fucking,
they're,
it looked good. I
I'm
mean, I
on
know that.
I'm on the wagon of there is no conspiracy to make the Chiefs win, but holy fucking shit. They've got to change this rule. They've got to change this rule about not being able to look at these penalties. And I don't think it should be up to the coaches. I think when a penalty like that, a roughing call or a face mask is called, there should be a team in New
An
York, which
automatic
there
win.
already is,
Mhm.
watching the play and instantly be like, that was not, pick the flag up. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not that difficult. It should not even be a coach's challenge. You've
Well,
got
and
to get that right.
especially at a time like I understand during the regular season, there's limited amount of staff within the NFL, so it's like, but why isn't the Situation Room in New York? Why don't they have somebody watching the game with like authority from the NFL to tell the refs whether or not the calls are right?
Yeah.
Like somebody who has active video, so to prevent mistakes like this. And I swear to God, I thought this fucking happened after that pass interference call with the Rams and Saints a couple of years ago, or the no call. I mean,
I'm telling you, man, it's making people insane. And if there is even a questionable call in this championship game, like Kansas City already may have an asterisk by their season.
I
Uh,
mean,
and it's not, I mean, it's not their fault. Uh,
it's not. It really isn't. The Chiefs, for all the shit talking and all the posturing and like everything negative we've said about them, even like they're still winning the games that they need to win. They've still won all those Super Bowls. Like you can't. If it was just a matter of the NFL trying to make you good, like you wouldn't win that much. The NFL wanted the Jets to be good. Look how many fucking primetime games they put them in.
but
If
it's
the
just
Jets were in the Super Bowl, I would stop watching football.
it's putting the fans in a weird place where they have to like be on edge when somebody's like, "Well, you guys only win because the refs." And that's not true. But
I mean,
but at the same time, there's evidence that shows you guys scored points on these drives that were extended by some of the worst calls that I've ever seen. There
100%.
needs to be a way to fix it,
I
period.
mean, I had an experience directly with this a couple of years ago. The NFC Championship, Packers and Bucks, Tom Brady's last season, or second to last, the last season he won the Super Bowl. Um, the Packers, the game was tied, minute 41 left, third and long. Brady passes it. It's incomplete. Pass interference call because fucking of course there is. And the Bucks get the first down, drive down the field, kick the field goal, win the game. Um, Now, I've had to come to terms with that as a Packers fan. Like in the moment, I'm like, fuck that. That's so bullshit. Like it's the fucking everyone wants Tom Brady to win the Super Bowl. The Bucks put together this super team. It doesn't matter what the fuck actually what team is better. And I had those feelings for a long time. But at the end of the day, you have to play well enough to win the game even when there's a bad call. That's what it is. So I mean, yeah, you take all the moments that the Packers have been dicked by the refs. The fail Mary, another great example. If we would have scored more than 12 points in that game, it wouldn't have fucking mattered. So, anyways, but that being said, if the Chiefs beat the Bills this weekend and there is a questionable call that seals it or causes some amount of influx between the scores, there is going to be a huge dropout of non-Chiefs fans.
Yeah, so um Baltimore Buffalo, that was one for the ages, man.
Oh,
And
what a
how cool
game.
was it to have multiple snow games in the
Oh my
same
God.
playoff?
My favorite part of that game was immediately on the after the last play, jo
They're
Josh Allen and Lamar, they ran into each other's arms and just embraced, and just the respect as like you are the two best football players in the world and you just faced off against each other in the biggest stage in the snow and you had a hell of a fucking game. So
well, and
that
Lamar had
that's
a
the
huge
moments that
smile.
that I live for watching this game.
Lamar had a huge smile on his face when they
Absolutely.
met. And honestly, I'm thinking about what he's processing at that time, knowing that he did everything he could. He put the ball right in Andrew's hands and he just biffed it, man. I mean, I haven't seen anything like that since Jackie White back in the Dallas. You know the play I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Biffs it in the like it hits him right in the hands. He's like falling into it, and then he like geeks out uh
I
after
mean,
just because that's just heartbreak. I mean,
yeah.
it's right there. There's no one stopping you but your own two hands.
I mean that's what's so great about this game is all the talent, all the logistics. Sometimes these guys make mistakes. They're still human beings.
And let's
You
be
know.
honest, Gobo, at that moment when he dropped the ball, it was a 2-point conversion to tie. There was a minute and 38 seconds left. They were losing that game.
I think Josh could have probably
They were
converted.
losing that game no matter what. I mean, it's not certain you could intercept it. I mean, you could recover a fumble. It was a snow game. They may have had trouble moving the ball, but a minute and 38, that's an eternity.
Oh, absolutely. For
So
Josh Allen,
get in at least field goal range. I
yeah.
mean,
I don't know. I think about all the old timer Bills fans who think about, oh, we just need a field goal.
right, right.
Like, ooh.
Yeah, that's those are bad words in
I
Buff.
mean, that's why I was kind of hoping, like low key hoping for a Buffalo Minnesota Super Bowl, and for it to end on a field goal of some kind. I'm like, oh, this is a redemption moment for one of these teams.
That's
Um,
yeah.
but no.
So that's why I wanted to go back and cover because those are the two games I really, really
Mhm.
wanted
And
to.
then yeah, Washington, man, what a performance. Jaden, man, like Jesus Christ, that kid is talented. Just the composure at that level.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
I like it. I like it. So yeah, we got and then yeah, the Chiefs Texans game, yeah. Who cares? It's boring. CJ looked completely overmatched.
It really was boring. I mean, aside of the bad calls, giving the Chiefs points and extending drives, and I mean, it was maddening to watch. I counted like 8 really bad calls in that game that went for the Chiefs, and I'm like, look, I understand like if it were rigged and you were protecting your viable interests, why wouldn't you try and create more by
Right.
having like CJ Stroud beat this guy that's already super popular? Like, why wouldn't you like their
Yeah.
strategy would, I mean, it doesn't make sense like for the
Yeah,
NFL.
it's in the NFL rule book. The only person who's allowed to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs is Joe Burrow
Well, let's hope that
or Tom Brady.
let's hope that he suits up in Josh Allen's place this
I
week.
was gonna say, yeah,
All right,
like Josh
champion.
Allen goes down, and then you just hear like the glass breaking in the Stone Cold Steve Austin song, and then there's Joe Burrow just runs onto the field.
All right,
Fucking,
we got
why not?
championships. Championships.
Championship Sunday is this week. We the season is culminating. Let's start in the NFC. Lincoln Financial Field, City of Brotherly Love, Declaration of Independence, Liberty Bell cheesesteaks, taking on the Redskins in chief. Division rivals, rookie versus a perennial team of juggernauts.
With I mean, quarterback is maybe one of their weaknesses, if I'm being honest.
The Eagles for sure. No, Jalen.
Now, but here's the thing, Gobo. This is so fucked up to me because from like week one, I mean, I had Commanders coming in second in their division. Props to me. I know, I know, I know. And that was from week one. That's exactly where they finished. But we had three teams from the NFC North make the playoffs. And the odds of one of them making the Super Bowl was really good because they all had like super high records.
Mhm.
And then we've got this division that I think last year might have been the worst division in football. I mean,
It wasn't great. It
nobody was
wasn't
scared of
great.
the Cowboys. The Eagles were beatable. And these other two teams were bottom dwellers.
I mean,
So they were definitely in the running for worst with maybe the NFC South. But uh dude, for some reason, somehow this, and I told you this last week because one of your points was, and I'm not saying this to demean you, but I just don't think that you'd seen the greatness of Jaden Daniels because you're like, oh, this is where he gets exposed as a rookie. I'm like, if they lose, it ain't gonna be because he looks like a rookie. Because I have not seen that in any games this year, and I've watched a lot of just their straight up games. And that's the thing about Jaden Daniels, dude. He is never flustered, ever. Like fourth down, whatever. Going for
yeah.
it, fourth on five. Oh, they didn't get it. Oh, there's a penalty. We're going for it, fourth on five again. Okay, no problem. And then he just does. He just does it. And then when he throws a touchdown, he walks. He's like Barry Sanders of quarterbacks. He doesn't have like, I mean, at the same time, he has all this emotion and he's really fun to watch. But he's
Yeah.
not
No
like
ego.
overly like God, the kid's gonna be. I
The
mean, the next,
opposite of Cam Newton.
and I would love to see them take this game from Philadelphia. You know, I had Philadelphia winning the Super Bowl for at least three. This is the third week now, but I'm kind of like I'm hoping against hopes that Jaden Daniels is able to pull this out.
I mean, it would be quite the thing.
We have to decide by the flip of a pog or whatever. Oh, you
I have a
actually
real
have a
I got a
point.
real coin today.
Look at the budget increasing on our
I
show.
was gonna say, um, so I have a City of Aurora seal will be heads, and then City Hall will be tails. So I'm gonna let you call it.
I got City Hall.
You got City Hall? The choice is yours, my friend.
Oh my God, I was hoping to lose this one.
I was gonna say because you know who
No,
I
I
would.
have to stick with
You
Philly.
gotta take with spit. Yeah,
I have to, but I really want Washington to win. So it's a win-win for me either way.
yeah.
I got Philly, you got Washington.
I got Washington. So, um, that being said, yeah, it's like I know Washington's defense has improved quite a bit. I mean, they looked really good throughout the playoffs. Can they slow down Saquon? Nobody has.
It's gonna be up to Bobby Wagner, the first ballot Hall of Famer who's aging.
That's a tall fucking order for that guy, considering that he ran over the Packers and the Rams defenses, who I think were better defenses than Washington. Another point I wanted to make too: three NFC North teams made the playoffs, zero wins.
Ooh,
All of them lost in their first games.
that hurts. And none of them
I
played
know,
each other. That's another
and we
crazy.
didn't play each other. Yeah,
Um, I will. One last comment on this game, Gobo. I don't really know how the game's gonna play out, but I think that this game comes down to the turnover battle. The team that wins the turnover battle in this game, at least a +1, is gonna win.
I think that that's true. I think that is logistically the only chance Washington has is if they force some turnovers, but they can. It's possible. All right, AFC Chiefs, Bills, another classic. Um, so we're at Arrowhead. Gotta get that weird Midwestern cold. You know, you got some shitty pulled pork. Um, what else is Kansas City known for? Like meth. I don't know.
Wet
Um,
barbecue.
yeah, dry barbecue. They're known for Patrick Mahomes football at this point. And taking on the Bills, Josh Allen is having probably the best season of his career. I think he does fall short in the MVP race to Lamar because Lamar has also had like his best season ever. This is going to be a classic game. I hope that there's not some fuckery. I hope that whatever team wins, I hope they do it clean. Um, I'm excited. What do you
Yeah.
think? Anything to say before we make our picks?
Well, yeah, I do. To me, this one, okay, I was going to be honest, and maybe I'm going to speak for America here and say nobody wants to see Philly, Kansas City Super Bowl.
We do not.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that Super Bowl.
You give me Buffalo versus the Eagles, okay. I can jive with that. You give me Buffalo versus Washington, I'm definitely jiving up with that because then I'll be happy whoever wins.
Right.
Um,
Even
so
Kansas City, Washington would be okay. I just think I don't think nobody wants to see Kansas City and Philly.
nobody wants to see it. No, nobody. So
I mean, we had that Super Bowl 2 years ago, and it was more exciting because it was the Kelsey brothers playing each other. Not the case this time.
yeah, and I think we've got, you know, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen has dominated him in the regular season, but is 0-3 against them in that's three times bounced in the playoffs by a single team. You, Buffalo has a thing about losing four consecutive. Uh, they need to shake it.
Traditionally,
Like,
yes.
they got to shake it, or they're going to have that curse on them too.
Yeah.
Being bounced four times by Patrick Mahomes, they're absolutely going to hate. I mean, if they don't hate him already, they're going to absolutely hate Kansas City. So, I mean, let's go Bills. Let's go. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah. I think so. The last thing I'm going to say before I flip this coin is that if Buffalo does not win this game, I think they take a decidedly step down next season. Not because of Josh Allen, but I think just because the free agency pool, the contracts that they have out in limbo right now, I don't see them getting better than the group of guys they have on the field right now, which is amazing. They're still will be in
And
the playoffs. I just don't think they'll be as
I kind
dominant.
of and I feel like you said that at the beginning of this year, so I'm gonna roll with as long as Josh Allen's on your team, you're a contender.
I mean,
That was our
yes, sir.
comment, basically our exact comments from week
I'll
one.
tell you what though, I heard that sentence a lot with the name Aaron Rodgers. So,
Yeah. No,
all right.
at some point it's gonna have to come to an end. But I feel like Josh Allen's got a couple years left in
Oh,
his
he's got a while for
yeah.
sure.
So
All right. I'm gonna give you City Hall again.
all right.
Here we go. Do.
Shit.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
I'm gonna take Buffalo.
You're gonna take Buffalo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go. All
Um,
right. I got to root for the chefs.
well, you don't have to, but
I mean, I'm
there's
not
an
going
added
to.
bonus.
Like,
There's an added bonus
I
if you
was gonna say it's not like I have like 10 grand on it. Like, yeah,
right.
no. But I think that this game is very winnable for either of these teams. I want Buffalo to win. Um, Destiny and the NFL brass, I think, want Kansas City to win.
I think though, if I'm speaking for both of us, if we were to witness a Washington versus Buffalo Super Bowl, that you and I would both be pretty happy about that.
I'd be pretty happy about that.
Yeah. All right, my friend.
That's a tall order though, especially for those Commanders. Holy
Yeah, what do
cow!
you guys think?
Yeah, throw down in the comments. I mean, never too late to start picking games. Um, and I also haven't decided on my wardrobe for next week. Um, it's funny. I only have half of the jerseys of the teams left. I have a Buffalo jersey and a Philly jersey, and they're the same player.
Are
So
we what okay. So after this week, we probably have another week. I don't know when our Super Bowl show is going to be before the Super Bowl. Let's just say that.
Probably before the Super Bowl, yeah.
And then we'll have one wrap up after the Super Bowl. And then you won't see us till the draft where, we're probably going to, do like we do every year, evaluate things and make some changes and we'll roll with it. We got some
Give out wild speculation as always,
got some
and
pretty good
be
ideas
normally wrong.
about next season.
Yeah, about next season, about the 2025 season. God damn. Um, it's gonna be the Packers' year. I can feel it. It's coming. We're gonna trade for Josh Allen and Max Crosby. Just wrap it up. Um, well, anyways, so that's it. I mean, these playoff shows are decidedly shorter than our regular season ones. But thank you for sticking around with us all year. We do have one more regular show. So join us next week while we discuss, hopefully not a Philly Chiefs Super Bowl. Um, but yeah, who's playing is it Kendrick Lamar's playing the halftime show, right?
Yep.
Well, we I think that's something everyone can enjoy, unless your name is Drake.
Oh, you know what? I'm out on halftime Super Bowl shows until they get Weird Al.
I don't know if they can afford him.
Then make it happen. Just make it happen.
I love it. Yeah, and
So
then he
good.
just and then no, I want okay, hear me out, NFL. Hear me out. Okay, I know you guys are listening because I know you devoutly watch our show. Weird Al and all of the guest performers come on and perform songs that of theirs that Weird Al has parodied. So I want Madonna coming out and singing like a surgeon with Weird Al. Make
You're
it fucking
we,
happen.
we are telling you how to make the most successful Super Bowl halftime of all time.
It's that easy. It's that easy.
Said he's
Yeah,
dude, Lord coming out and doing aluminum foil.
right? I
Nah,
was gonna say,
dude,
was it did Coolio die?
yes.
Ah, bummer. So we can't do Amish Paradise.
Well, Weird Al could still do it.
I mean, they could do a hologram Coolio.
AI.
There we go. Cool AI.
Because you can't have a halftime show without
Well,
uh
that's some bullshit.
Amish
Yeah, I mean,
Paradise. Without Amish Paradise.
Amish Paradise or Eat It, but yeah, I mean, Michael Jackson's been dead for quite a while.
But you could have the guy that's playing him in his biopic is coming up next year.
Oh yeah, that's all something we're really excited for. Um, Anyways, so halftime performances aside, we will have more speculation about the big game in 2 Sundays. But this weekend, um, conference championships should be fun, should be chilly. I'm excited. We'll see what happens. Follow us on social media, like, share, and subscribe. Put your predictions down in the chat, and take care of each other. And fuck the Jets.
Juck the Fets and whoever your team is, good luck to you.